All right, so remember with special right triangles, the first one is 30, 60, 90. Your short leg is always the leg across from your 30-degree angle. Well, how do I change it to black? So the leg that's across from the 30-degree angle, I'm going to relabel it as X. That's your short leg. The leg that's across your 60-degree angle, that's your long leg. Your long leg is the short leg times radical 3. And then the one across from your 90-degree angle is always your hypotenuse, and that's always double the short leg. So, number one, which leg are they giving us? The short, the long, or the hypotenuse? That's the short leg. That means X is the long leg, and the hypotenuse is this one right here. So to find the hypotenuse, we take the short leg and double it, so that would be 16. And to find the long leg, we do the short leg times what? Radical 3. So that means that the long leg here would be radical 3. 8 radical 3. Number 2, again, they're giving us the short leg because it's across from 30. So how do we take the short leg and go to the hypotenuse? Times 2, so that's 1. And how do we go from the short leg to the long leg? Times radical 3. So 1/2 times radical 3 is radical 3 over 2. How do you know which one's the short leg? It's across, whatever's across from 30 is the short leg. So 3, which one are they giving you?
14.
Which is the short leg. So to go from short to hypotenuse times 2, and to go from short to long times radical 3. So X is what? Oh, sorry. 20. I don't know how to undo. Okay. And then Y is 14 radical 3. So everything stems from the short leg in a 30, 60, 90. Let's try 5. 5, they're giving you what? Long leg. So to go from long leg to short leg, instead of multiplying by radical 3, we're going to divide by radical 3. So we needed to take 12 and divide by radical 3. Except you can't leave radicals in the denominator. So to do from here, you have to multiply the top and the bottom by radical 3. And then that gives you 12 radical 3 on top and what on bottom? 3. Because radical 9 is 3. And then this reduces to what? 4 radical 3. And then to go from short to hypotenuse times 2. So 4 radical 3 times 2 is 8 radical 3. 6 is like the same way. They're giving you what? Long leg. That means short leg is which variable? And hypotenuse is y. So once you figure out which sides you have, you can use the correct pattern to find the rest. So how do we go from long to short?
Divide by
Radical 3. If you're in the 30, 60, 90, the pattern's radical 3. If you're in the 45, 45, 90, it's a radical 2. So 8 divided by radical 3, I got to fix it. I get 8 radical 3 over 3. This time that doesn't reduce. And then I double that to go to the hypotenuse. So that'd be 16 radical 3 over 3. Let's do one more where maybe they give you the hypotenuse. So what about 8? This time they're giving you the what? Hypotenuse. So x is half of 6, so that's 3, and then y is
3 times.
radical 3, so 3 radical 3. Take the short leg and multiply by radical 3. So from here to here is times radical 3. From here to here, it's divided by 2. So about 9. Hypotenuse is 16. Short leg is what, the hypotenuse? Half. So half of 16 is, and then long leg is what, the short leg? Radical 3 times the short. Questions on 30, 60, 90? All right, 45, 45, 90. That pattern is radical 2. So the two angles are the same and the two sides are the same. So the legs are x. And from leg to hypotenuse, we do what? Multiply by radical 2. But from hypotenuse to leg, we would have to do what? Divide by radical 2. The hypotenuse has to be the longest side. So number 1, are they giving you a leg or the hypotenuse? Leg. So that means the other leg is also 8, and that means the hypotenuse is 8 radical 2. Number 2, leg or hypotenuse? Leg. So the other leg is 14, and the hypotenuse is 14 radical 2. 3, leg or hypotenuse? Leg. So the other leg's 18, and the hypotenuse is 18 radical 2. Now, number 4, leg or hypotenuse? Hypotenuse. So how do we go from hypotenuse to leg? Divide by radical 2. So 18 over radical 2. Got to fix it. Multiply top and bottom by radical 2. 18 radical 2 over 2 gives me 9 radical 2. And that means both legs are what? 9 radical 2. Number 5, leg or hypotenuse? Hypotenuse. So what do we do from there?
Dividing by radical 2.
So everybody go ahead and try to divide 8 by radical 2. You either have a calculator that can spit out the answer or you don't. So if you don't, you need to figure out how to do it by hand. The only ones that are going to do it for you, spit it out, is the Smart View. But it shouldn't be too hard to fix it on your own.
5.656.
It can't be in a decimal. So you have to multiply the top and the bottom, if you don't have the calculator that does radicals, by radical 2. You get 8 radical 2 over 2, which gives you 4 radical 2. Again, try number 6. You're going to take 10 and divide by radical 2. So everybody try to fix that if you don't have a radical calculator. It only takes a few steps.
It's 5 radical 2.
You're multiplying the top and the bottom by radical 2, which should give you 10 radical 2 over 2, 5 radical 2. Okay? Questions? All right.